Onboarding is really just, it's part of that experience. It's also a phase in the employee life cycle. But after you've done a great job of setting that culture for the attraction and the recruiting phase, that's when employees start joining your organization. And then we go through the onboarding portion. But onboarding is more than just a day of introduction to your company, right? It's not just one day in your employee experience. It's a bigger part of that employee experience, and it can lead all the way through that first year. It's also the perfect opportunity for you to show appreciation and introduce employees to your culture and community. So unfortunately, despite companies talking about their great recognition culture and benefits, like Sandra had mentioned before, less than half of employees report a great onboarding experience that was more than just a day of orientation and a folder of benefits. So I think we can all remember maybe a job in the past where we showed up for our first day of work, we were onboarded, we were probably sitting in a classroom, we're learning about benefits, we're learning about the company history, and then they kind of send you off, right? And you start work with or without a computer, perhaps. That's unfortunately what's happening at a lot of organizations. But instead of handing out, a company t-shirt and zipping through those benefits in that classroom, organizations can consider creating more of a curated experience for their employees that's more rich in recognition experiences. So according to research from the O.C. Tanner Institute, there's a baseline of onboarding experiences that organizations should provide for their people. That's the foundational aspect there. So a note from leader, right? Everyone wants to see a personal note from their leader when they start their organization, welcoming them. They'd love a card signed by peers, again, their team, welcoming them to the organization and their own teams. Perhaps a custom or personalized symbolic award to commemorate the employee joining the company. And it could be as simple as, a zipper pull for a sweatshirt that you're giving out to them, or a little keychain that they can hang on their water bottle or on their backpack that you're giving to them, along with the company swag. Or it could be something bigger and more meaningful. And Selma and Sandra will share some examples later in the webinar. But those are the foundational things. Those are things you just have to do as part of your onboarding experience to create that foundational experience for your people. But to maximize impact of your onboarding experience, you should add these three things: time to socialize with other new hires, right? Not just sitting in a classroom by myself learning about the company, but to interact with other new hires and people that are just starting. Also, food catered by the organization. Everyone loves food, right? Who doesn't love food? And then time to thank others for their help and support during the onboarding process. So this is really important because, again, onboarding isn't just that one day that an employee starts with your company. It really is throughout that first year. And there's going to be a lot of people that help your new hire learn about the company, learn about their role, learn about the team, and do their actual work. And so to provide an opportunity for your new hires to thank those people for their help and support can be really impactful. By doing this, it has a huge impact on new hire engagement, their perceptions of your culture, whether or not they do great work, their perception of inclusion, and also the risk of burnout. So you'll see on the chart that if you have a suboptimal, foundational, or ideal onboarding experience, the impact on all of those outcomes is slightly different. And by having that ideal onboarding experience with the time to socialize and the time to thank others, there's a dramatic impact on all of those outcomes.